Hey, I'm Cyclone, and today I just wanted to give you a quick update on my Tornado Shot Deadeye. I did some changes that I thought would be interesting for others as well. It's not going to be very much in-depth. I'm going to cover how you can keep a almost permanent Berserk with and without Mage Blood, as well as some changes that I did to my tree and my gem setup, as well as my aura adjustments. Now, as you can see straight up, I have no Ballista, but instead I have a Berserk setup. I have Petrified Blood, so those are the obvious changes. But before we get to those, very quickly the passive tree. I grabbed a second Ramakumakanga tattoo by grabbing this claw note that doesn't do anything for me, and this mark note that does a little bit for me. I was able to get this one having 7 adjacent passive skills, so I was able to use it. I had this one already before. And then I got the medium cluster special reserve spike concoction. I noticed that after I got my mage blood and my life flask I was barely using, so I didn't had my Alchemist Genius up at most of the time, if not all the time. So I replaced my life flask with a unique flask, and I got it up a bit more often, but it was not still up all the time. So I replaced one quick getaway pressure point with the spike concoction special reserve, because now when I have any flask active, which Mage Blood is forcing the flask to be active, I have Alchemist Genius, so now I have permanent Alchemist Genius that gets my Dying Sun more charges quicker and also has increased effect on all my flasks. The only good other notable that I found is special reserve. Again, any flask effect, we are always under flask effect with Mage Blood, and if not running a Mage Blood, you're always under the flask effect running maps because we're clearing so many mobs. We now have increased damage and life regen, which we want to use for our rage, for our KM Spirit rage regeneration to use the Berserk. Now on my gems, the notable change is that I adjusted my auras. I'm now running an Enlighten, Determination, Grace, a Petrified Blood, and an Arrogance level 2120 with level 20 Precision, level 20 Vitality, and a Defiance banner. Now this setup allows me to be about 55% of my life still being unreserved. So when I leech because of Petrified Blood, I can't leech over half of my life, so at least 5% life is a pool that is getting filled with overleech. So whenever I get a hit, there is the degen life pool of the Petrified Blood that gets instantly counteracted from my instant leech, from my leech, and from my life on hit, meaning that any delayed damage basically is non-existent. Any damage that doesn't kill me is non-existent. And spoiler, I got to level 99 farming legions. There's not a whole lot that can kill this build in this state when I run Delirium Legion Expedition. I didn't die to Expedition, I didn't die to Legion, I died twice. Once to Stupidity and once to Stupidity again. So the first one was I tried to click on a Divine Shrine, Immortal Shrine, or Immortality Shrine, or how it's called. And the mobs next to it didn't want to let me, and it lagged so hard because of all the projectiles I shot that I didn't die, that my game lagged, I got hit, because I was lagging, the shooting was delayed and I died to the hit. And the second time I was standing in the uncleared map, I responded to somebody on Discord that asked me a question, and I died because there was some random mobs walking up to me and killed me. When I hopped back into the game, I was dead. So if you don't do anything stupid, this build can easily level to 100. I'm already at 24% to the 100, and this is still from this 100 Legion run. So 2 deaths, level 99, and then almost 25% for level 100. I would say that's pretty good. But yeah, this is my new aura setup, and I dropped, because of socket pressure, my ballista setup, and instead I now have a 16 containing my sniper's mark on hit with an enhance, which makes my sniper's mark do more damage to enemies, and then I have a steel skin, the anomalous berserk, anomalous for the increased cooldown recovery rate, and then enduring cry. Now this setup allows me to have my berserk on up almost all the time. You can see here, I press it, it runs, it runs, it runs, it runs, it runs. At some point it starts losing, then once it gets to 25, it loses very quickly. And the moment it runs out, I can press Enduring Cry, and as you will see, it's full, Berserk is up again. So except when Berserk is on cooldown, I'm instantly or almost instantly back to 100%, so 50 rage, and then I can use it again, and I can use it again, and this will just repeat in the map. And this is how you have almost permanent Berserk. Now to achieve that, there are two ways, one with Mage Blood and one without Mage Blood, that I prefer over the currently used common ways of Voll's Vision. Because in my opinion, the helmet spot is very important. The ring spots and the belt spots are also important, but those are your alternatives. So let me take a look at those. The first thing that I tested out was with Mage Blood, with a regeneration flask. I'm sitting at about 650 life regen. Now with this and with Enduring Cry, I have my permanent rage, but if I instead not have this, I need somehow these other about 300 life regen. And the best way I found this is either using an Immortal Flesh, but this one will heavily impact your build, because right now my general recommendation is a stat build, and we will replace that build with this that isn't giving us stats. We will lose stats, and then we also will lose resistances. So while this one exists, I don't really like it. Instead, a Kikazaru with implicit for percentage stats allows us to either replace our Death Rush using Adrenaline, but getting some stats, some Omni on top of getting the needed regen. As you can see, I'm at 662, and that is level 99, so you don't even need to be full level to get the most out of this ring. Or alternatively, you can also replace your rare ring with this, which of course you need to cover your omniscience. In my case, it should be covered by just having 950 with my 20% Omni, but there you just need to adjust and see how it's needed. But you can also replace the other ring with the Kikazaru based on your rest of your gear. Just wanted to share that this is, in my opinion, the best way to get to your rage regen needed to use the Camp Spirit, to use the rage setup, and then you should be good to go. You don't need the Mage Blood. A Kikazaru can be enough. Of course, it just occupies a ring slot. Now, one final mentioning, you could see here that I have a break in GMP because of the projectiles on the tree, because of using the Dying Sun. I don't have a +2 projectiles on my bow yet. I don't know if I'm gonna go for it. But right now I'm at 8 projectiles, 10 with the Dying Sun. I didn't really need it to GMP anymore. I instead got increased critical damage support. And that's really all there is to the changes. The video's been long enough. I wish you a wonderful day, and of course, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to message me in the comment section on Discord, either in the designated channel on my server, or over DM, and I will answer as quickly as possible. All that being said, goodbye, and I see you in the next video.